Right, so this is just going to do a quick intro into the chain rule. So say for example we have a function here which is y equals 2x plus 1 all cubed, like so. Now we're going to differentiate this. So the issue we have here, it's not a straightforward one, a normal polynomial, is because we have a function here of 2x plus 1 inside the bracket. So what we're going to have to do here is we have to use something called the chain rule. And here's the theory of how it works. Basically, if you imagine we substitute now u in here. So what we're saying over here is that u is actually the 2x plus 1. So now that's a lot easier. That's u cubed is a straight polynomial, nice and easy. So if we differentiate that, we get dy du, and that's going to give us 3u squared. Now the problem is, of course, we're not after dy du, we're actually after dy dx, because that's the derivative of y with respect to x. Now that's actually equal to the dy du that we found, but if we multiply that by du dx, you can see the two du's there will cancel out, and that actually gives us dy dx. So if we can work out what this bit here, du dx, is, we can just multiply it by our dy du and get an answer. Unfortunately, that's very easy to do, because over here on the right hand side you can see our little u function we set up. If I differentiate u with respect to x, that's very straightforward, becomes 2. So now what we've got is we can combine these two things here. So dy dx is actually going to be equal now to 3u squared times 2, which is 6u squared. And the final step is to substitute the u back out, and so that gives us 6 lots of 2x plus 1 all squared. And remember, that comes from up the top here, the 2x plus 1. So that's really, I guess, the theory of the chain rule and how it works. Practically speaking, I'll just move right along here if I have another problem. If I had something like 3x squared plus 2x all to the power of 4, and I was asked to differentiate that, I could go through that full working, but practically what you're doing is you are going to differentiate the outer function, which is the bracket to the power of 4, and then you multiply it by the derivative of the inside function. So dy dx is now going to be equal to the bracket, the outside function done, so that's 4 lots of the bracket now, which remains the same, decrease the power by 1. So that's the outer function, that's the du dx. And then what we do is we multiply by the derivative of the inside function, which in this case here you can see is going to become 6x plus 2, and that needs to be in a bracket because there are two terms. And so what we end up with there is, well, that's it. You can simplify it if you want, but that is the derivative of the line above.